What's up guys, Taylor here with Calgary Barbell, and I'm doing something. Bringing you another edition of Form Check Friday, so let's get started. First off, we got Callum. Callum sent in some squats, good set of 5. Overall, Callum, I think you got a pretty good squat. A few little things we can work on that I think will definitely make an immediate improvement in your squat. I want you to control your squats a little bit more to the bottom. You kind of start relatively controlled, but then there's a little bit of dropping into the bottom. From there, when you hinge your hips back, okay, I want your hips and your shoulders to hinge as one. You're kind of just pushing your butt back right now, and when you do push your butt back, your trunk goes into extension, and we're not keeping those ribs pulled down. So when we brace, we do want to pull the ribs down and then breathe into the tension when we do brace, and then think, I want to keep this area of my trunk short as I hinge into my squat. Other than that, you move pretty well, so that's good to see, and overall you got a pretty good squat, but I think that'll definitely allow you to push harder in the squat. The more stability you have in your trunk, the more able you are to push hard through the ground. So hopefully that helps out. All right, so next up we have Quinn. Quinn sent in some horizontal arm squats all the way from Australia. Quinn, a few things going on here that I want you to work on. I think you could work to get more weight up on top of your upper traps. Try to push your neck flat to the bench and extend your upper back as much as you can. Be reaching up to the bar as you are bench pressing. When you are bench pressing, your head is coming off the bench. Just be aware of that depending on the federation that you compete in. If you are looking to compete, that will be an infraction and will cause red lights if your head is coming off the bench. From there, just work on controlling the bar a little bit more to your chest. As you reach your chest, you should be working to control the bar. And then from there, just maintain your scaps down and back. Keep those shoulders depressed as you're pressing. And I think that'll definitely have a lot of carryover to your bench press. All right, so next up, we have Merrick. Merrick sent in some deadlifts. Merrick, a few things going on here in your deadlift. First off, right off the floor, I want you to focus on pushing with your knees. It looks like you're trying to pull a lot with your back off the floor, and the bar's kind of drifting out a little bit in front. The knee position in front of the bar is okay, but we just got to push with our knees to get them out of the way of the bar. We want to work our body around the bar. We don't want to work the bar around our body. From there, your start position, you do have a little bit of low back round. I want you to work to eliminate that a little bit. The more neutral we can keep our lumbar spine, the better and the safer it's going to be. And then at the top of the lift, you're kind of leaning back and overextending a little bit. And when you kind of work to lock your glutes or lock your hips, your knees are going soft. So your knees are becoming unlocked at the top of the lift. Again, if we don't really need to overextend at the top of the lift, just think stand tall. Imagine if you're a puppet on a string. Okay, you're gonna stand nice and tall. And then from there, we don't really need to lean back. And if you are planning on doing a competition, the knees unlocking at the top is gonna actually cause an infraction and cause some red lights. So a few things to work on there, but overall, solid deadlift, and just be patient and keep working. All right, so next up, we got Justin. Justin sent in some bench press. Few things going on here, Justin. Right off the top, what hops out to me is I think you're over tucking your elbows a little bit in order to touch, and then from there it kind of causes your elbows to flare back really, really fast and your shoulders to loosen up as you are executing the press. So with that, I want you for now, just think about, I need to keep my elbows pointed out a little bit more, not tuck so much, keep them underneath the bar as much as we can. And then with that, keep those shoulders depressed as we're pressing up. We don't want to let our shoulders shrug up as we're pressing. We want to keep them nice and down, nice and tight. And then another small thing is just like in terms of practice, just pause every single rep and then kind of rate RPs or however you do train, like accordingly. We want to practice like we play. So the more we can pause our reps better in training, the better it'll be in a meet. So yeah, good luck with that. Keep those shoulders down and keep practicing. All right, so next up we got Caitlin. Caitlin sent in some deadlifts. Caitlin, you mentioned in your email you were worried about kind of getting your shins perpendicular to the bar and that you couldn't get your hips where you wanted them. I think you're kind of worrying about that too much. I don't really personally freak out when I see knees in front of the bar. It really depends on the leverages of the lifter, but knees in front of the bar is okay. The main thing is you just got to make sure that you push with your quads off the floor, push with your knees off the floor, make sure that you get your knees out of the way of the bar. Like I kind of stated previously, we want to be working our working our bodies around the bar. We don't want to be like having to work the bar around our knees, around our body, okay? So just work on pushing with your knees off the floor. And I think maybe it's harder to tell with the side angle video, but you might be grabbing like too wide and standing too wide. I think bringing your hands in and stance in a little bit will kind of change your leverages a little bit and allow you to kind of push in a more appropriate way and just shorten the range of motion up for you a little bit. Yeah, biggest thing is stop worrying so much about that vertical shin, that perpendicular shin, and just let your knees go in front of the bar, push your knees, and everything else in your deadlift looks great. All right, and then next up we got Neil. Neil sent in a pretty heavy single on squats. A few things going on here, Neil. First off, I want you to, in your setup, just work on like push that chest forward, extend your upper back a little bit more. From there, work on pulling your elbows together. And then when your elbows are together or pulled together behind you, when you start the descent of your squat, don't let your elbows drift forward, okay? That elbows drifting forward really shows me that your scaps are kind of loose and you're trying to gain some tightness and stability by bringing your elbows underneath the bar. But I like to coach, pull your elbows together behind you, keep your chest pushed forward, keep those scaps pulled together. From there as well, a few things to work on in your brace. When you hinge, keep those ribs down, okay? We want to think nice tight brace. It'll keep your lower back a little more neutral, and then just stay as tight as you can going in the hole. But I really think the main power leak is through your upper back, and that it's causing you to like have to slow down pushing with your legs. The tighter we can keep our entire trunk, the harder you're going to be able to push with your legs. So get that upper back tight, and it should immediately help your squat. All right, guys, that's it for today. Keep your eyes peeled for sexy sweaters like the one that I'm wearing, and I look forward to chatting with you next time.